Good afternoon. My name is Debbie Salce, and I have the pleasure of introducing our next recipient, who I'm also fortunate to call a friend and colleague, Sheryl Battles. Sheryl Battles is Vice President of Communications and Diversity Strategy at Pitney Bowes. What does that mean? That means she gets to communicate to all sorts of folks, internal, external, and messaging all the key points of our company, and she does a fabulous job at it. Now, Sheryl has a passion for diversity, and her work in the community is well known. And most people would not have predicted Sheryl's success in the communications field based on her early education in human biology. Sheryl likes to say that she honed her communication skills in trying to explain to her parents why she had no intentions of moving on to medical school. Early on, she blended those talents in education and projects such as a radio soap opera, focused on cardiovascular health, which I've tried to find online, by the way. You're going to have to send that to me. Fortunately for us, she has more recently focused her efforts in the corporate world. Sheryl's colleagues admire and appreciate her intellect, her insight, and the energy that she brings to all that she does. Sheryl likes to spend time outside the office as both a wife and mom to her 15-year-old daughter, Kendall. They enjoy watching HGTV together, particularly Love It or List It and Fixer Upper, two of my personal favorites as well. As the master scheduler in her family, her husband, Curtis, is her partner in every way, and she is the first to admit that she couldn't do it without him. Please join me in congratulating a woman of passion and many talents on this award, Sheryl Battles. For your commitment to excellence professionally and within our community, the YWCA would like to honor you with this 2016 Bravo Award.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Debbie, and to the board, the committee, the dedicated staff, and the supporters of the Greenwich YWCA. I am so humbled and honored to accept this award. It may be cold and snowy outside, but inside, I am basking in the warmth of this moment. Thank you so much. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I am blessed by God to be able to say that there are people in this room and across this country and a contingent in heaven who have helped me go farther than I could ever imagine because they were willing to go together. So it is in their honor that I accept this honor because I would not be here without them. To my sorority sisters, to the sister moms in another organization that I'm in, to the men and women that I work with on civic and social and cultural organizations, to my incredible colleagues at Pitney Bowes, a company who has long understood the value in investing in the health and the strength of our community, a company that has long empowered women, and I'm proud to say that in addition to Debbie Salce, we have 5 Bravo winners here today, and I would ask them to please stand again. Rose Velez Smith, Kathleen Ryan Muffson, Abby Constam, Jonna Torsone, and Polly O'Brien Morrow. Clearly, Jonna and Abby and I did not get the memo about the hyphenated name, but we got the award anyway. I also would not be here without the support of my many friends who are here, my parents who taught me the value of community, the importance of education, and the power of prayer. And my beloved husband of 28 years, Kurt Battles, and my 15-year-old daughter, Kendall. Please stand, because without you, I would not be here. Going together on another's life journey can be a difficult thing. My friends have had to coach and counsel me. They've had to instruct, and they've inspired me. They've had to listen and teach lessons to me. We've all done it for other people, and it's easy to do for those you know, for those who are familiar. It's a labor of love. What I've challenged myself to do in life, however, is to think about, as the senator referred to earlier, who makes that sacrifice for those who are most in need? Who goes together with the stranger? The story I always think about is the Good Samaritan, and irrespective of your framework of faith, it really has a marvelous example of a man who saw a stranger in need and lifted him up and took him to shelter and healed his wounds and left money for his ongoing care when he left. It's an example that shows that service is a contact sport. You have to leave the comfort of the familiar to reach out and meet the person in the presence of their pain and their need in order to make a difference. Now, I'm sure this analogy is not lost on anyone in this room when we think about the YWCA. That Good Samaritan helped someone who had been victimized by violence and injustice, and he was in need. The YWCA does that. They know the impact of violence and injustice, no matter what form it takes, whether it's domestic discord, whether it's needing education and empowerment of women, whether it's racial inequality. So I'd like to thank the Y for the important work that you do, because you make us all better because of it. Winston Churchill said that we make a living by what we get, we make a life by what we give. I'm so proud that my family and I have been able to try and make a life by giving to others. In closing, my daughter, Kendall, is a ninth grader at Greenwich Country Day, and she recently won a public speaking, an opportunity in public speaking to present in front of the entire upper school. So I tried to convince her to actually accept this award for me. She was a little busy with things like homework, but I also know that she loves to collect quotes. And I think the count is up to 480, Kendall? 488. So I said, can you think of a quote that describes mommy? And I know this is kind of a dangerous thing to do with a 15-year-old, but literally within 30 seconds, she came back with the following quote, and I'll have to read it from Louisa May Alcott. And it said, "The emerging woman will be strong-minded, strong-hearted, strong-souled, and strong-bodied. Strength and beauty must go together." You can see why I love that kid. From her lips to God's ears. I've tried to live my life showing the strength of community and the beauty of service. Thank you for the opportunity.